We're back with Sheriff Tom Hodgson. Also joining us, Gabriel Camacho, board president of Centro Presente, a Latin American immigrant organization, board member of the ACLU of Massachusetts, and Kerry Bretz is an immigration attorney. All right, gentlemen, welcome. Why is Secure Communities profiling?
I'll let the ACLU take that.
Well, it's profiling because, first of all, we hear the argument that it's a data sharing program in which we all know that computers are colorblind. However, we need to understand who is doing the arresting in the first place. There are tons of studies and documentation of police doing what's called pretextual
But if you're saying they're arresting the wrong guy, that's a totally different issue than sending information of everybody into a database.
Yes, however, racial profiling is a phenomenon that exists in law enforcement.
There's no question. But how is it racial profiling if I arrest 9 people and send all of their records to Washington?
Secure communities will not eliminate racial profiling. It might even encourage it.
How?
Look, the way it works, fine. What the judge said earlier about people going into the system and getting fingerprinted, okay. But the way it really works is a traffic officer makes a stop, a regular stop for an illegal lane change, and then says, oh, wait a second, there's an accent here. What's your status in the U.S.? So then the person gets arrested, goes into the ICE system, and doesn't get deported for a couple of years.
Yeah, but why do I not believe you when I just went through Guam and Almeida, Torres, Guam and Maria Tavares, people deported coming back with records? We've got people with felonies who aren't deported. What are you worried about?
That's selective, Jeanine. Crimes... Judge, excuse me, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Crimes and alcoholism and driving while drunk is not a phenomena that is strictly restricted to the immigrant community or to the Latino community.
As a
matter of fact, addressing the issues of criminality is something that we need to do, but Secure Communities does not get us there.
Oh, wait a minute.
Because
Secure Communities does get us there. And look, let's start with the fact these people are illegal, okay? They don't belong here.
Okay,
and that's
all right.
The bottom
You
line.
don't want to deport illegals. Why don't you want it, Kerry? Or why don't you want to deport illegals?
You can't deport 13 million people. There's 13 million.
Oh, well, how would, if I were when I was a DA, if I said I got too much crime, I can't deal with it, I'll go home.
But you prioritize and you use prosecutorial discretion.
Yeah, I'd prioritize the guy with a felony who's got assaults a police officer.
Judge, there's a tremendous system in place called Criminal Alien Program. It deports 400,000 people a year. It identifies people in jails. New York State has a full-time judge.
Hey, don't even tell me about New York State. We had people who were convicted and spent time in jail, and then when they had probation, what happened was they were illegals and they were still on probation.
Not recently.
Can't figure this stuff out.
Not recently. The system is tremendous right now. People go into downstate and Ulster, which you know very well. They get identified as being deportable, and the deportation case and due process.
All right, you're telling me about cases that are working. So then, what are you worried about if we send the information to the FBI?
Because you waste resources on the visa overstay, the guy who jumped the border 10 years ago.
Waste resources? You want to talk about resources?
If I may, Judge. If I may, Sheriff.
If we didn't learn anything post 9/11, one thing we learned is that we needed to do everything we could to get as much information sharing between state, local, and federal agencies. And the bottom line is that if a guy gets put in there and he's overstayed his visa, ICE should know that. Absolutely, they should know.
Of course they should. Okay, Gabriel, you want to talk about resources? Do you know how many Americans are living in poverty? 46 million of them. Unemployment is over 9%. Yes. Why should we tolerate this problem when it's not just a criminal burden, it's an economic burden? People who've been paying their taxes aren't going to get Social Security.
Immigrants pay their taxes also.
Well, do they file a tax return? What does that mean?
Excuse me. Can I have a chance here? Can I have a chance here?
Sure.
Also, undocumented immigrants pay taxes. They pay payroll taxes. They also get an ITIN number with the IRS in order to file their tax returns.
As a matter of fact,
Judge, if I may finish this point, if I may finish this point, we don't know that, and you don't know that either. Quite frankly,
that's what I'm going to bet you, and I'll say it next week.
Okay, well, as a matter of fact, there's something called the Earning Suspense Fund in the Social Security Trust Fund. That's all the money that's deducted from undocumented immigrants that draw a paycheck and pay their taxes. That money stays there. It's up to $520 billion, and they will never see that money.
If a percentage of the 13 million paid their taxes, we wouldn't have the economic problems we have.
If you legalize the 13 million at a comprehensive immigration reform, imagine that amount of people paying state, federal, and Social Security.
Comprehensive reform is amnesty. Anyway, Sheriff Hodson, Gabriel, Kerry, thank you. We've got a bet on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great to be here, Judge.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Judge.